speak with a lot of WCP members to talk about digital circulation and reporting. One of the things that a lot of media buyers and regional and national advertisers look for is circulation that goes beyond the printed piece. Obviously, as we get into an era of advertisers promoting themselves and marketing themselves across many media, CBC has taken the time to modify and improve their reports to accommodate the latest digital technologies. So Tim is actually going to start the conversation looking at some of the new ways in which the CBC audits have changed. A quick introduction, though. As you know, I'm Justin. If you were at the WCP conference earlier this year, we probably met. We probably did a session that might have been similar to this and also some other things. Those three logos are ours, so if you recognize those, that's us. And I'm going to hand it over to Tim.
I don't see the slides forwarding.
Of course not.
There we go.
Of course not. Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. The reason that we've asked you all to come into a conference call today, and Justin, go ahead, you can go ahead and flip to the next page, is because you're coming up on a very important time in your Wisconsin audit. We're really having some technical issues today, Justin. I'm getting that feedback again.
Okay, you should be good now.
Okay. We're coming up on a very important time in your Wisconsin audits. As you all know, your last audit was issued for your association March 31st of 2011, and you have a 24-month audit period. And so your new audits that are going to be released March 31st of 2013 will have an expanded, really what we call technology paragraph, which is paragraph 6 of your audit reports, in which we're reporting a lot more information than we ever have in the past. Most of you are familiar with paragraph 6A and 6B on your audit reports, talking about website reporting and online edition reporting. Now, the Wisconsin Association has always been a leader in the industry. You've always had much better receivership scores, readership scores, and purchase scores than the rest of the country. The vast majority of your members report and get their stuff in on time and everything goes smoothly. But one thing the Wisconsin Association is really lagging on is reporting of website and digital activity. And so we want to be able to change that now, because now's the time that you can begin reporting to make sure it appears on your audit reports that are going to be issued in the first quarter of 2013. A lot of people, I understand, are reluctant to report their website because they're not proud of the numbers. They don't think they have a strong website, whatever that may be, whatever the reason may be. But essentially, there is no negative to reporting your website. Even +1 is considered value added to media buyers. And so no matter what your numbers are on your website, and they may be better than you think, I would encourage you to begin reporting paragraph 6A, your average website reporting. And the minimum amount of information that we would ask you to report is your unique visitors, your page views, and your average time spent on site. Now, if you have a great website, by all means, you can literally report hundreds of data points on your website. And if you have any questions about your website reporting, please call Jim Kennedy here at CBC at 800-262-6392. Now, I'll also add that you can report multiple websites in paragraph 6A. So, if you have a parenting website, if you have a 50-plus lifestyle website, if you have a special ad website, whatever it may be, in addition to your general website, you can report multiple websites in paragraph 6A. Now, paragraph 6B is for your digital edition or your online edition reporting. And I'm going to let Justin go into this in a little more detail. This is really his specialty, but years ago, CBC began reporting digital editions. And what we're looking at here is really a complete replica of your print edition. And once again, I'll let Justin go into the specifics on this particular section. Now, paragraphs 6C, D, and E are all new to you in your 2013 reports. If you're not doing these technologies, I would certainly encourage you to do so. Before we started these training calls last Monday, I received a call from a publisher from Ohio who was upset that he had new competition in his market. And the reason that he had new competition in his market is because he didn't do any of these technology things. Well, a college student had returned to the town and wasn't able to find a job, so he started his own business. So he's now doing websites for local businesses and setting them up in social media. He does digital newsletters, and he's started websites, for advertising purposes. And so this publisher in this small town in Ohio now has competition that he never thought he'd have. It can happen anywhere. And so I would encourage you, if you're not doing any of these technologies, to please do so, because it's just a matter of time before they come to your market too. Now, mobile and text media in paragraph 6C is probably the broadest of the reporting standards that we have. Matter of fact, there in Wisconsin, you have a vendor, Hometown, which is based out of Milwaukee, that does a lot of mobile and text media support for publishers. So if you're involved in mobile and text, we'll customize this section for you to report exactly how you're doing that within your communities. Now, paragraph 6D, social media, is the easiest thing you can report to CBC. If you're not currently active on social media, I would encourage you to do so, because this is one of those sections where advertisers, I should say, are really looking for value-added propositions in your proposals to them, especially ad agencies and regional and national advertisers, because social media is a great way for you to announce that you have a new advertiser in your publication, or there's a special insert or a special sale going on at a particular advertiser in that week's paper. Those value-added propositions are what regional and national media buyers are really looking for in all of your proposals now. Now, it's not difficult to report social media. All you have to do is like CBC, and we'll like your page back, and then we literally pull that information into your audit report automatically. So that's not even a reporting system. Same thing for Twitter and following CBC, and we'll follow your publication. And so the reporting of social media is about as easy as you can get. It'll automatically go onto your report. Same thing for email newsletters. And if you're not doing email newsletters, this is an area where we see huge opportunities for the free paper industry. And this idea of reporting was really born out of our consumer audit division, where we're auditing a lot of paid magazines. All of these paid magazines have extensive email databases of their readers, and they're doing, whether it's weekly or daily, email newsletters to their readers, informing them of things that didn't make it into the magazine, or special events coming up, or special features that are unique to those email newsletters. And the great thing is, they're all sponsored by advertisers who are paying additional fees to be sponsors for those newsletters. And this is another area where we're seeing a lot of value-added proposals coming from publishers to those regional and national media buyers. And so if you don't have an email newsletter, it's easy to start. All you have to do is start asking for email addresses from your readers at all of the events that you go to throughout the community, or anytime you have a contest, or anytime you're communicating with the community in any way. Just ask for email addresses and permission to send them email newsletters. And it's almost something that you can do from day one and make a profit, and it's almost 100% profit. Your only cost, of course, is the maintenance of the email newsletter list and putting that information together. Now, I'm going to turn the rest of this over to Justin. We'll certainly save some time for any questions you may have about CBC reporting, but this is what your new paragraph 6 is going to look like in your 2013 reports. It's some major changes, and I would encourage you all to do as many of these technologies as you can possibly do before that March 31st, 2013 reporting deadline. Because the more information that appears on your report, the more you have the appearance of dominance in your market. And that's certainly more important now than ever before. Justin, the call is yours. Justin?
Yeah, sorry about that. We have been noticing a lot of trends also with digital circulation going up and up and up and up. And it's not just in a particular market. We have clients all over the United States, and the trend is national. So it does. We know that that's happening in almost every single market, and it's an opportunity lost when that data is not being recorded and presented to advertisers and media buyers. Many publishers are still in the dark about digital circulation, And digital circulation is defined as putting an exact replica of your publication on the internet, preferably your website, so that readers can see every page, all the stories, all the classifieds, all the display ads. Why? It goes back to the idea of trying to catch your readers wherever they are and giving your advertisers as much value as possible. There are many reasons why an advertiser may decide not to run with you anymore, but don't let the lack of value be a reason. But you're a print publication. Why do you have to be concerned about print? For the same reason why CBS, NBC, ABC, and every other TV network is begging you to visit their website, follow them on Twitter, friend them on Facebook, and send them your Instagrams. They have a lot of competition, just like you do. And even if you don't have a lot of competition, it's only natural that someone is going to view your market as having a digital read and try to fill it with a digital product you don't offer, just like I described with the publisher in Ohio. Also, going back to this TV network example, these TV networks want to be everywhere their viewers are. Wouldn't you want to be everywhere your readers are? Assuming it didn't involve any extra work on your behalf, spending a bunch of money, it sounds like a great opportunity to catch as many eyeballs as possible and offer the greatest value as possible. Imagine the value that brings to your readers. Not having a digital edition on your website is like having a bunch of empty racks in the streets. People walk up to it, see it empty, check back a few more times over the next few months maybe, and then eventually stop checking. This is what is happening to your website. Now, before the changes that Tim described in the previous slide, this is how paragraph 6 used to look. And for many people, 6B, this is exactly how it used to look, with not available instead of actual numbers. When Tim said even a +1 makes a difference, it does, because you certainly don't want to miss one printed copy of your publication. You want every single printed copy to be recorded. So why wouldn't even one more website visitor mean just the same to you? And the funny thing is, too, is that once you start populating paragraph 6B with numbers, you're going to notice paragraph 6A go up, because it's only natural. For many folks, for many publishers, their digital edition is the most popular aspect of their website. And if it's the most popular aspect, that means you're getting more and more people to the site. And if you're getting more and more people to the site, it's driving both of those numbers up. Now, a digital edition is defined as a carbon copy of the print edition, which means that every single page, exactly the way it gets printed, gets placed online. It's not just page 1, just the cover, or just the front and back cover, or just the ads. No, it's the entire publication in the exact same format as print. It also is defined as something that's fun and engaging. If you have something that's engaging, that means people are coming back week after week, month after month. It needs to be fast loading. No one wants to sit around and wait to receive the paper in print. No one wants to sit around and wait to load the paper online. It's got to be interactive, so there's got to be some sort of feature that print can't possibly deliver. For example, a keyword search. Being able to search through the entire publication, all the words and all the classifieds, display ads, and editorial is an interactive feature that is value added and that you obviously can't possibly do with a print product. A digital edition also allows you to do some cross-marketing, which means that it's as simple as a share button. And that means you could share any page or aspect of your publication online on all social networks. And that's not just for you to do. That is for your readers to do. That's for an advertiser who's proud of their new ad or who wants to do a quick promotion of the coupon they just ran with you. Clicking the share button can push that to their social network. Another thing about digital editions is not a PDF. PDFs are something that are designed for print, not for the internet. They tend to be large files. They tend to be a little clunky, and there is a significant difference. Number one, no interactivity. inside of a PDF, unless you're going to start adding in a bunch of features in pre-press and pre-production, whether it's in Quark or InDesign or whatever kind of programs and plugins you need, unless you're going to take that time to add interactivity to a PDF. And even then, you have to make sure people have the right version of Acrobat in order to read it and stuff like that. It becomes a big headache. You can't track behavior within the file, which means that you don't know if people are spending most of their time on page 3 or page 10 or spending, 10 seconds. The only thing you're going to get with PDF is just knowing how many times it's been opened. And also, PDF files tend to be large. No one wants to sit around and wait for a 22 megabyte file to download, especially on their mobile device or especially on a dial-up connection. A digital edition needs to load fast under all circumstances. Now, the cool thing about digital edition reporting is that, yes, Tim and CBC, they do ask for unique visitors, visits, page views, average time spent on the site, things of that nature. You can dig down even further for your own purposes, because a lot of the statistics can tell you a lot about people's behavior inside the digital edition, and also can kind of give you a feel for what's going on generally with your readership. Okay, this overview screen, this is the first screen you see when you log into a statistical program. This overview screen tells you night and day so much more information than you'll ever squeeze out of a PDF. If you just look at that pie chart alone in the bottom right, shows you that 75% of the people visiting in the last 30 days are new visitors. Now, that's a really impressive number, that 3/4 of the people visiting your site are new. Unless, of course, you go back 2 months and you notice that for the last 3 months, 75% of your readership has been new. But the number of your unique visitors has stayed the same. Okay? What that means is basically 3/4 of the people are new every single month. They're not coming back. So that would be a problem. So it's kind of cool, this stuff can be looked at in so many different ways. And all you have to do is spend a little bit of time in front of it. And the benefits are multiple. Obviously, you can report all the data with CVC, and you can learn a lot more about your reader's behavior by spending a little time here. The difference between tracking your statistics with a digital edition and a PDF is that this is what your stats look like for a PDF. It's just not the same thing. So the benefits. The first is stretching outside your distribution area. This is, for multiple reasons you might want to do this. Number one, you have folks who work in your distribution area and live outside of it, but don't get a copy at work. You have people who have friends and family inside your distribution area, but live outside. Or you have people just on the edge. Tim often talks about those rural routes being very difficult to, or very expensive, or difficult, inefficient in delivering to. We know that can be a pain in the butt. And reaching those people without having to actually deliver a physical copy to them is a huge cost saver. Following the folks who travel out of state in the wintertime traditionally is done with asking them to pay X amount of dollars and then mailing them a copy 10 states away. That's fine, but this is a much easier, much more efficient way to follow your snowbirds. It's just a matter of making sure they have your web address and they can check it any time of day or night. We're going to log them onto, get them onto your email subscription list. And then every Thursday when the latest edition is ready to read, you can shoot an email out to them and they get it in their inbox, no matter where they are. And also when they come back into town during the season, they haven't forgotten about you because they're still getting updates from your publication every week. Another benefit is the big problem of papers just not getting delivered. We've heard plenty of horror stories with publishers telling me that their delivery person got confused and thought that 500 people lived in a dumpster behind Target. Okay, this stuff happens, and instead of having to field a bunch of phone calls from angry readers saying, where's my paper, where's my paper, where's my paper, you don't have to make up excuses. You could just say, hey, look, we made a mistake. Go on our website, and you can view the entire edition right now instead of having to wait for us to get you a new copy or put it in the mail or whatever the case may be. All of this revolves around going beyond print. Print is still the #1 moneymaker for a lot of community publishers. Print is still the #1 distribution method. But we have to recognize that people are spending a lot more time not looking at print than they are looking at print. The interesting concept of always having your cell phone on you. I'm guilty of that as well. Some people don't even, take it out of their pockets when they use the restroom. It's always next to you. And now with 3 different, 2 different sizes of iPads and 3 versions and iPhones and Androids and Kindles and everything else, you need to just be everywhere that your readers are. The email subscription part of things that Tim was talking about is a very simple thing to get involved in and is included with some of our levels of service, but I just want to give you a couple examples of what they look like so you can kind of, if you haven't seen one in a while or you're not on any other publishers' lists, you might see something like this. This is for a publisher in Minnesota. It's a weekly, I think there are 60% advertising, 40% editorial, something like that. What they do is they just feature a lot of upcoming community events in the email on the right side of the screen, and the left side has a front cover of this week's edition, encouraging people to click and start reading. Whatever your message is, make sure it goes out on a regular basis. Frequency is a good thing. People expect frequency. One of the worst things you could do is collect email addresses and not email people for 6 weeks. Those email addresses go, quote unquote, stale very quickly. So you need to consistently ping people for any reason. This is a publisher in Tennessee who likes to feature some different classified ads in their weekly email. And if this was a real email, you'd be able to scroll down and see cover images for their different weekly shoppers. This is a very simple email for a publisher in Florida who just puts the cover image and a little greeting, encouraging people to read. One unique thing they do is they offer $50 cash to a random person on their email subscription list every week. Now, yes, that is a $200 investment he's making every month, but in my opinion, you can't even buy good email addresses from local folks. This is a great way, a very grassroots way of building up an email list, and something that he's going to really be able to capitalize on from an email sponsorship point of view very soon. Another interesting thing that publishers are doing is not only using the digital edition to increase circulation, but also increasing revenue. Online-only pages are defined as pages that never make press, and they could either be inserted in the middle of a 32-page publication, as this example, 16A and 16B. You have that one advertiser, we probably have many of these types of advertisers who only run a quarter-page ad or even an eighth-page ad every week. And while they're consistently advertising with you, maybe $120, $140 a week with you, sometimes you try to upsell them into something greater and they just won't go. Here's an opportunity where you can say to someone, hey, look, we know you've only done quarter-page ads with us for the last 5 years, but how would you like the opportunity for an additional $140 to have a double truck ad in the middle of our digital publication? And that's a very, very enticing offer to a lot of your smaller advertisers, and people can get in the habit of scooping these up 4 weeks at a time. Another thing, too, is the back cover, an additional back cover, a page 33, so to speak. When you're flipping through a publication online, if you're looking at the back cover, that's taking up only the left side of your screen. So you have the right side of your screen open, and that would be a great spot for a digital edition sponsorship or just simply a page 33. enlarge someone's half-page ad or quarter-page ad and sell them on that spot there. Be a great opportunity. Publishers are also utilizing digital circulation for online-only editions. This is a great way to either get super exclusive discounts into your website, so you'll find a few key advertisers, encourage them to give an extra $1 off their services or extend this particular offer, and make it only available to your online readership. You don't have to be concerned about thousands of people in a very small market all taking advantage of these super exclusive savings, because as Tim has pointed out, usually 20% is the number, at least nowadays, that you're going to start to plateau with your online readership, 20% of your print circulation. And you don't have to worry about, obviously, every single person who you're delivering to coming online and totally forgetting about print. It just doesn't happen. If that did happen, I'd be retired on a beach somewhere in the Bahamas. But print is still extremely viable, and it's still obviously the #1 in reach and distribution. But online-only editions are cool because not only could you do something like that, but you could also get into a special section. Perhaps you haven't had the courage to start a new special section because you weren't sure about the concept. Well, here's an opportunity. Sell it online, put it together, do the artwork, put it online, market it in print, pushing people to the website. And now, when you do want to do this in print, you have a prototype that you can go out and sell from. So all these are unique ways to do online-only pages that you can build up some revenue for. This is what you see when you get to our website. We report our information, all your stats, exclusively to CVC. We only work with CVC. And Janelle bugged me. She said, you know what, we need to motivate some of our members to get online. And she asked me to do a discount. We don't do discounts, but we're doing one. The easiest way to get started with us traditionally is a $2 page solution that's completely hands-off. We get the same PDFs that go to press, and we do everything else. It includes social network sharing, keyword searchability, mobile version, tracking and data reporting to CVC. We're doing it for $100.80 per page for the life of the agreement, and it's a 10% discount valid until the end of the year for anyone who's been on the webinar. And I'll leave you with this thought before we open it up for questions, so think about your questions. But working with a lot of small businesses in our neighborhood, because we still do even to this day, they tell us that they're not getting the results with the local paper that they, and those results, visitors to their website. Why not? Well, there's lots of reasons. Either the ad didn't inspire people to go to the site, or there was bad imagery, or the copy wasn't good, or it was a bad location on the page, or it was buried in the wrong part of the paper, etc. But that's all stuff that you're capable of fixing quite easily. The problem that you can't fix is that your paper is in print, and getting the average American off their couch to pick up that heavy laptop, turn it on, open up a web browser, and hit the advertiser website is what you can't control. You have to make the process of going from ad to advertiser website as seamless as possible. So how do we fix this? We just have to cater to the new behavior, some people refer to as laziness, when going where they are. The person on their couch is usually on their computer, but can't access the local paper online and cannot make that connection of going from page to advertiser website as easily. So if that's a big complaint among small businesses over here, I would imagine that is an issue for a lot of small businesses elsewhere. And the best way to do that is to be on the same medium that the destination is. So Tim and I will be happy to answer questions at this time. I'm sure someone's got a thought, or I'm sure I misspoke at one point, so you'll probably be questioning that.
I think you've given them everything they need to know. You may want to unmute Brian.
Yes.
Unmuted.
Gene, is there anything we left out?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, if there are no questions, this was being recorded, so we'll send a copy out to you, Gene. I know Janelle said she wanted to do something with that, and then